ASTEC TV.
Hello, I'm Aaron Bazell.
And I'm Diana Brasino.
And this is ASTEC TV. We have an exciting show planned just for you. First up, OT has an ingenious watch.
Hello, do you like watches? Well, I love them. I have found a wonderful watch that is called e-ink. The e-ink technology used in this watch shows the digital time with accurate and instant time. This customized dial allows you to select a different style, including numbers, and select from 4 different dial looks, 2 different color options, and change from different color options and change from different digital time to date display for a total of 16 different display options. The average battery life is 2 years. The e-ink display is unique in appearance like ink on paper. It can also display black on white or white on black imaging. The e-ink features low consumption in very wide viewing angles for a price of $150. I think you should keep an eye on.
That's definitely a watch I would buy.
Next up, Daniel will show you a power-saving invention.
Hey, Daniel here. And let me introduce you to a groundbreaking gadget that uses no point source energy and it's eco-friendly. It's called the Electree. This bonsai tree, made by French designer Vivian Mule, is 1.5-foot tree with 27 solar panels that let you convert solar power into electrical power, which lets you charge or power your gadgets. This Electree has concealed USB connectors and AC outlets. You can adjust the leaves to any position you want for easy charging. $370 for an unlimited power source? Sounds like a good deal to me.
We all love our iPods and the wonderful apps that come with them, but not all of them are worth the money or installation.
Min T is going to show us a few examples of useless apps.
Have you ever wandered the App Store and came up to an app that you thought was useful, but it is really not? Well, now I'm here today to show you about the most useless app ever. Coming up is the Is It Dark Outside app. This app simply tells you yes or no if it's really dark outside. Pretty useless if you ask me, when you can simply go outside and see if it's really dark. Now is the Kiss Me app. This app simply rates your kissing skill. Just kiss the screen and we'll tell you. Again, useless because if you depend on a phone to rate your kissing skill, then apparently you're not really that good. Last up is the Stapler app. This app basically shows the stapler open and close. But the fact that an iPod can't even staple paper proves this app is useless.
Next up, our reporter Minty just visited Super Cao Nguyen with a tasty report.
Super Cao Nguyen was actually founded in 1979. It was a family business that was started in 1979, a couple blocks down the street here. And back in 2003 was when we moved to this new location here at Super Cao Nguyen. Well, when we first started, it was catered mainly towards the local Vietnamese community, local Vietnamese refugees that came over after the fall of Saigon. And as the store grew, I think it got a following from the Oklahoma City community. And that's kind of when the store kind of grew. And I'll be honest, when we opened in 2003 at this new location here, it was difficult because we didn't know what we were doing at the time, because we didn't know if we wanted to be a Vietnamese grocery store, an Asian grocery store, or an international grocery store. And ultimately, we figured out that here in Oklahoma City, it was better to be an international grocery store. Here at Super Cao Nguyen, we carry products from over 50 different countries here. And so it really is international as opposed to just being strictly a Vietnamese or a Chinese or an Asian grocery store here. Well, with the advent of computers, it's gotten a lot easier. Everything here is scanned, everything has POUs, and so it's easier to manage a lot of that inventory now, whereas in the old days, when you were punching in the prices at the register, it was a little bit harder to manage inventory. But now with computers, it's a little easier. Well, I think ultimately it's great to be part of the Asian community here in Oklahoma City. And I think more importantly, it's better to be a part of the Oklahoma community as well as the Asian community as well too, because we're all here. We're all been given a second chance to live the American dream. And to be able to live not only the Asian dream, but also the American dream as well, I think that's great for the city here. Well, at first when my parents started the market, I think they were just looking at a way to support themselves in this new land where they didn't speak the language. And as I grew up in the market here, I always had dreams of opening up a large grocery store so my parents could retire and have a modern grocery store. That was always the dream, was to have this grocery store that anybody could walk in and close their eyes and not think that they were in an Asian grocery store, but they were in a modern supermarket.
Okay, so who founded Smule?
Smule was founded by two guys. One whose name is Ge Wong. Ge sounds kind of like duh, but it's G.
Okay.
And Jeff Smith. So I actually I met them when I was at Stanford. I got my master's in music science and technology at Stanford.
Wow.
And it happened to be the first year that Ge was an assistant professor there, and he just finished his PhD at Princeton in computer science with a focus on computer music. And he actually wrote a programming language called Chuck. The Chuck programming language, specifically for making audio programming more accessible to pretty much anyone. So he had just came over from Princeton. He was assistant professor. And then the other guy, Jeff Smith, was he had already has sold a couple of companies and was kind of living the good life and funding his own PhD studies at Stanford in this program. Okay. So that's where I met them. I had an impact on them while I was there. And when they started the company, and I think that they founded it officially in like June or July of 2008. Okay. And then they called me up in August, and they're like, "Hey, we need the face of the company. We need this guy that we're going to call the Mule." So that's how I got involved.
So your headquarters it's in California, right? Is there a particular reason why it's in California?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So Stanford is basically it's the school, but it's also its own city, I guess, and it's bordering Palo Alto. So it's right in the middle of Silicon Valley, mm-hmm. which I'm sure you've heard plenty about Silicon Valley before. I don't know if you've ever been out here, but so San Francisco is about 35 miles north of Palo Alto. And so basically, I mean, if you want to be in the tech industry, this is really the place to be. It's just, you can build foster relationships so much easier here. And the main reason, though, is because it needed to be near Stanford, because Ge is still an assistant professor at Stanford doing some amazing things there. So we had to be right next door.
So how did the name Smule come around? How was that decided?
That was actually decided before I got there, but it's a derivative of, it was originally Sonic Mule, like one or two words, and then we dumbed it down to just Smule. And so Sonic is pretty obvious. Mm-hmm. We make applications that are sonic in nature and utilize sound in a cool way. And then the Mule part is kind of a little nerdier. It's actually a character in Isaac Asimov's Foundation series. So Isaac Asimov's Foundation series had a character. Isaac Asimov also created the iRobot movie. Books. And so his Foundation series is like one of the most well-regarded sci-fi novel series out there. It's kind of dense, but but he had a character in it called the Mule, and he was capable of doing what's called benign mind control. So not like directly controlling someone's mind, but like telling them what to do, like Jedis, but more like planting the seed of an idea in their head and letting it grow on its own, kind of like Inception.
Inception, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys work with T-Pain personally, or was that something through managers, or how did that work out for you guys?
Yeah, T-Pain was actually very kind of organic and very T-Pain in nature, actually. We had actually started before we talked to him. I actually kind of came up with the fact that we should try and do an auto-tune app because I knew like that was like one of the technologies that could be really popular. So I mentioned it to our like CEO and product team, and they were like, they looked into it, but they were like, this is kind of really hard, and we're not really sure how we would go about doing this and everything. And then like a couple months later, T-Pain's management contacted us and basically said, hey, we want to do this app with you guys. So I was flying down to LA for some other event and met up with one of them because this was all back in 2009, beginning of 2009, when we were still a very small company, and talked to the T-Pain's head of Nappy Boy Digital, and kind of talked to him, and we were like, okay, I don't know if we can do this, kind of blah, blah, blah. And then a couple months later, T-Pain was coming out to do a tour, and we actually went and met him on his tour bus in Sacramento and sort of hashed out the initial plan for everything. So,
okay, so you guys, you were able to work with him personally, though.
Yep, that was actually how everything began, was we met him on his tour bus, and he chatted with us and kind of gave us the rundown of the things he would like to have his app do. And we're like, all right, this guy's really going to do this. And it turned out awesome because he was, avidly promoting it when it came out. And needless to say, I think if we had done the app with anyone else, it would not have done nearly as well because the other artists don't promote the applications as heavily as T-Pain. He's very connected to all the things that he works on.
Yeah.
So, and I got to meet T-Pain, which was really cool.
Awesome. Yeah,
I have video of that, but I haven't put out on the internet yet. But it was pretty cool meeting him.
Now we know you guys loved today's show, didn't they, Diana?
Yes, I agree.
But that's all we have planned for today.
If you want to see more or watch previous shows, visit ASTECtv.com.
And also check out our podcast on iTunes and our upcoming YouTube channel. See you guys next time.